Hi, good day. I'm Conrado Austero Jr., MSIT student, and this report is for the subject in Advanced Networking. This report looks at the Zero Trust Architecture and Secure Access Service Edge. As ways to solve this problem, showing what they do and where they fall short. We'll also explore how artificial intelligence and machine learning in cybersecurity are used to prevent and respond to the threats, making network safer overall. And I'm going to discuss also about the traditional network security, why isn't strong enough to stop today's clever cyber attacks. Zero Trust Architecture and Secure Access Service Edge. Understand the principles of Zero Trust Architecture and Secure Access Service Edge and apply them in designing modern network security infrastructure. With the rise with the rise of the remote work and cloud computing, traditional perimeter-based security models are no longer sufficient. Zero trust architecture, and secure access service edge are critical frameworks for securing security networks in this modern context. So let's define zero trust architecture. Zero trust architecture is a security framework that fundamentally shifts the approach to network security, moving away from traditional perimeter based defenses and embracing more granular context model instead of assuming that anything inside the network is inherently trustworthy. Zero trust architecture operates on the principle of never trust, always verify. In the past, organizations protected themselves by putting a perimeter around their network. Traditionally, network relied on the perimeter security model. This involves establishing a clearly defined boundaries between organization and internal network and the external internet. Security measures such as firewalls, intrusion detection system, and VPNs were deployed at the perimeter to control access and prevent unauthorized entry. This assumption was that by securing this perimeter, the organization's internal resources were protected. This works okay This worked okay when everyone was in the office, but now people work from everywhere and use cloud services. The expanding attack surface created by the trends necessitates a more modern and adaptable security strategies. 5 steps to zero trust implementation. This model ensures that trust is never assumed and verification is always required, preventing unauthorized access and improving security. The image illustrates a 5-step plan for implementing zero trust security. Number one is to identify all potential entry points. Number two is to implement controls to monitor and restrict network. Design the network infrastructure and enforce zero trust principle. Create a formal policy defining access and continuously monitor the network for threats and anomalies. This layer approach assumes no implicit trust, verifying access to requests minimize security risk. In the picture shows how computer security work. Everything inside the company network was trusted, and everything outside was considered a threat. It's like having a fence around your house. You trust everyone inside, but not anyone outside. The problem is, this system is outdated. Bad guys can get inside the fence, and even good people inside can cause problems. This picture shows why we need better security that doesn't trust everyone inside. Example, accidental error. A well-intentioned employee might accidentally click a malicious link in a phishing email, download malware, and make a configuration error that opens a security vulnerability. Human error is a major cause of security breaches. A compromised account, employee could be compromised by phishing attack or other means, allowing the attacker to gain access to the network data. An attacker then operates under the employee's credential, making it difficult to detect malicious activity. Zero Trust Security is all about making sure that the right people get access to the right things at the right time, no matter where they are. Safety access. It doesn't matter if you're at the office or at the home, getting into company stuff is always secure. Limited access. You only get access to what you need for your job. No extra permission will be given to you. Constant monitoring. Everything you do online is watched. If someone looks suspicious, the security team knows it right away. These three principles work together to create a security model that doesn't rely on implicit trust. Instead, every access request is verified and monitored, specifically reducing the risk of data breaches and other security incidents, even the internal threats. This diagram shows how to build a strong security using people's identities. It's all about making sure one the right make sure that the only right person can get in the system. So centralized login. Everyone uses one login for everything. Number two is a strong password. Make sure passwords are hard to guess. Automated access. So automatically add and remove access as needed, reducing vulnerabilities. Number four is API control. So keep a close watch on access to the company's programming interface. In a zero trust organization, no user, device, or network connected is inherently trusted, regardless of its location, inside or outside the network. Every access requested is subject to verification and authorization before access is granted. This contrasts sharply with traditional model that assume implicit trust or user or devices within the network perimeter. The statement, never trust, always verify, acts as a mantra for zero trust security, emphasizing the importance of continuous authentication and authorization for all access attempts. Secure Access Edge. Secure Access Edge is a component of zero trust architecture that protects network element. With the digital transformation of business, increased remote working, and the use of cloud services to run application, security is moving to the cloud and is providing that security that combines network that function in a single cloud services. Secure Access Service Edge is a cloud delivered security model providing scalability and flexibility. Secure Access Service Edge, key components of the Secure Access Service Edge include software-defined wide area network, secure web gateway, zero trust network access, cloud access security broker, and firewall as a service. Software-defined wide area network is often flexible ways to connect different parts in the network using the internet. Secure web gateway keeps your internet browsing safe by blocking harmful website and content. Zero Trust Network access only allows access to a specific app and data. Even the people already in the network verifies every access request. Cloud Access Broker keeps cloud apps secure by controlling access and monitor activity. Firewall as a service. So a firewall delivered as a cloud service protecting your network from unauthorized access. This diagram highlights four benefits of using secure access service edge. One is scalability, remote work support, advanced threat protection, and integration. Scalability allows business to easily expand their network and security as their needed grows. Encourage work from anywhere. It provides the bandwidth and security necessary for employee to work effectively from anywhere. Advanced threat protection stand up to cyber threat evolution. This offers high-level security and tools to combat latest cyber threats. Adoption provides a secure foundation for business to integrate and manage Internet of Things devices. This slide compares three corporate network approaches: hub and spoke, local internet breakouts, and SASE. SASE is shown to be superior, offering better user experience and simpler management than other two, which suffer from latency issues and complex configuration. The key advantage of SASE is unified, cloud-based architecture that improves security and efficiency. So this is the working of secure access service edge. This is the in the left side is the traditional network model, security model, and the in the right side is the secure access service edge network security model. So this diagram illustrates a secure access service edge architecture centered around user identity. It shows how access to various cloud services like Google Cloud, Azure, AWS is controlled based on user identity, device profile, and location. Security functions like firewalls, web gateways, and zero trust access are distributed across the network and the edge core, ensuring security access regardless of location. The diagram emphasizes the access is determined by identity and context, not solely by network location. This list outlines the reasons why traditional network security is insufficient and a new approach is needed. Number one is traditional perimeter security. The rise of distributed work and cloud computing, increased sophistication of cyber attacks, and the failure of traditional models, and the need for new approach. The failure to the traditional model security method are failing to keep up with the modern threats. So the need of new approach because 1 to 4 is a new and adaptable to security model is necessary. This is where zero trust and SASE comes in. Traditional perimeter security. Firewall acts as a barrier that protects network and system from an unauthorized access. This is like how traditional security works. The network edge is heavily guarded with a strong wall, which is the firewall, and other security measures creating a barrier to external threats and keeping bad guys out. The assumption is that anything inside the perimeter is safe and trustworthy. The rise of the distributed work and cloud computing. So this is the comparison of cloud computing and distributed computing. The rise of the distributed computing, people work remotely and use cloud services, making cloud network edge as a much harder to define and protect. The rise of distributed work and cloud computing has fundamentally changed how business operates and interact with technology. Employees now work remotely, accessing company resources and data from various locations and devices. While business increasingly rely on cloud-based services for storage, application, and infrastructure, this shift has created a vastly expanded attack surface, making traditional perimeter-based security model inadequate and necessitate more flexible and adaptable security solution like zero trust and SASE. This is the common cost of firewall failure. Persist misconfiguration, missing policy, software vulnerabilities, and hardware bottlenecks. Firewall misconfiguration accidentally grant attackers easy access, missing a poorly written policy that leaves security gaps. Number two is the software vulnerabilities. Within the firewall application itself can be exploited and hardware bottlenecks can cause performance and issues and failure under heavy load. There are flaws in any software program that attackers can exploit. This is a true for firewall application as well as any other piece of software. This factor highlighted the importance of proper firewall configuration and policy deployment, software updates, and sufficient hardware resources to maintain efficient and effective network security. Firewall fail for several common reasons, like incorrect settings that accidentally let hackers in, poorly written rules, and leave security holes, flaws in the firewall software itself. It's not enough for computing power to handle the traffic. In the hardware bottleneck, your hardware may cause issues with the firewall, but may be occasion when the load of the firewall grows insignificantly. So the you should write good rules and keep the software updated and have enough computing power to keep the firewall safe. So there are types of firewall to bypass techniques. One is spoofing, port scanning, protocol tunneling, and exploiting vulnerabilities. To bypass the firewalls, players can utilize several techniques, and this is the four. So in spoofing, the technique involves masquerading one's identity or network to deceive the firewall into granting access by altering source IP addresses and impersonating trust entities. Hackers can trick firewalls in allowing their traffic to allow in the network. Port scanning, it allows hacker to identify open ports and target the system. By locating open ports, hacker can exploit vulnerabilities and misconfiguration in the firewall to gain unauthorized access. Protocol tunneling, by encapsulating prohibited traffic within allowed protocols, hackers can bypass firewall restriction. For example, using a technique like tunneling, hackers can encapsulate prohibited traffic within HTTP, making it appear as a regular web traffic. Exploiting vulnerabilities. Firewall, like any other software, can have vulnerabilities. It can be exploited. By using unknown exploits or zero-day vulnerabilities, hacker can compromise the firewall and bypass security measure. When it comes to hacking a network, bypassing the firewall is a crucial step. Firewall act as a barrier that protect network and system from unauthorized access. However, there are methods professional use to bypass firewalls and gain access to the target network. It is important to note that hacking into network without proper authorization is illegal and unethical. So increased sophistication of cyber attacks. In the image illustrates uh, how even the most secure or how strong cybersecurity measures to human errors, the more advanced and easily bypass traditional perimeter defenses. So this image illustrates the vulnerability of even the most secure or how strong cybersecurity measures to human error. The left picture shows a knight in full armor, representing comprehensive cybersecurity efforts. That the right image shows the same knight pierced with single arrow, representing a single employee clicking a phishing link, which can easily compromise the entire system despite intensively security protocols. It is critical to pass the basic knowledge of the cybersecurity to the employee and train them to be aware in the overall cybersecurity process to prevent these kinds of security breaches. The failure of traditional models. Traditional perimeter security relying on firewalls and edge defense is failing because it assumes internal safety. Remote work, cloud computing, and advanced attacks easily bypass this approach, demanding a more granular, context-aware security model. Traditional network security models, which focus on protecting the parameter of network and with firewalls and other edge security measures, are providing inadequate in today's distributed work environment. These models in today's this model assumes that everything inside the network perimeter is safe, failing account for insiders threats, compromised devices, and sophisticated attack that can bypass security perimeter defenses. The rise of the remote work and cloud computing, uh, increasingly sophisticated cyber attacks has exposed the inherited limitation of this traditional approach, highlighting the need of more granular and context model. So that's all for the zero trust architecture and secure access device edge. This is the references that I use in the report. And this is the second part of my report, AI and machine learning in cybersecurity, enhancing threat detection and responses. So AI and machine learning in cybersecurity. AI and machine learning security cyber tools. Artificial intelligence developed during 1960s and 70s, neural network, expert system, self-organizing automata, data attack, adaptive stochastic learning algorithm, robotics, anonymous system, augmented reality. So behavioral modeling, AI can apply to real-time modeling of all network traffic, logs, and audit files. NetNode service and all smart IoT devices. Zero-day attack AI modeling can mitigate risk to new malware that can no modified signature. Advanced persistent threats. Adapted learning algorithm can detect step-by-step penetration of advanced uh, persistent threats malware like phishing, trojan, hardware, and botnets. So, our, so our artificial intelligence in cybersecurity. In cybersecurity, artificial intelligence refers to the use of computer systems that can learn and adapt to detect and respond to threats without explicit programming. It's about enabling machines to mimic human intelligence in the realm of, cybersecurity. AI system can analyze vast of amount of data, identify patterns, and make decisions to protect network and data from malicious actors. AI is transforming the cybersecurity landscape, offering powerful tools to combat the ever evolving threat environment. However, it's important to note that the AI is not magic bullet. Human expertise and just judgments are still essential in cybersecurity, and AI should be used to augment and not replace human security professionals. Machine learning in cybersecurity. In cybersecurity, machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence that empowers computer system to learn from data without explicit programming. Instead of relying to predefined rules, machine learning algorithm analyze vast amount of data, identify patterns, and make predictions or decisions based on those patterns. This learning process allows machine learning system to adapt and improve their performance over time, making them particularly effective in combating evolving cybersecurity threats. AI and machine learning in cybersecurity. The landscape of cybersecurity threats is ever changing, shaped by the rapid advancement of artificial intelligence and machine learning tools, resulting a cybersecurity arm race. Both attackers and defenders recognize the power of AI and ML in augmenting their abilities. Attackers harness these technologies to pinpoint vulnerabilities and execute a sophisticated attack, while defenders utilize AI and ML to identify and prevent these threats. Cybersecurity threats involves with AI machine learning, sparkling digital arm race. Attackers exploit these technologies to target vulnerabilities countered by defenders who use AI to detect these sophisticated threats. Cyber attacks are getting smarter because of AI and machine learning. Attackers use this technology to find weakness in computer system and create a better ways to break in. This means defenders or cybersecurity experts use AI and machine learning too to stay ahead and protect against this advanced attack. It's like a never-ending game with both sides constantly improving their technology. Importance of AI and machine learning in cybersecurity. Enhanced threat detection, automated incident response, improved security risk assessment, uses behavior analytics. AI offers a range of advancement in enhancing cybersecurity, particularly in areas where human capabilities are limited. Enhanced threat detection algorithm can analyze massive data sets from various sources in real time, identifying pattern and anomalies that may indicate potential cybersecurity threats. This allows more accurate and timely threat detection, giving organization a crucial edge in responding attack. Automated incident response, also known as AIR. AI can automate the initial response to security incidents, streamline the triage and remediation process. This can significantly reduce the time it takes to detect and address threats, minimizing potential damage and caused by attackers. Improve security risk assessment. AI can analyze an organization's IT and infrastructure, applications, and data to identify potential security risks and vulnerabilities. By leveraging sophisticated analytics, security managers can prioritize medication efforts and focusing on the most crucial threats. User behavior analytics. This helps organizations detect and prevent data breaches and cyber risk. AI analyze the algorithm that user behavior patterns, identifying anomalies and may indicate insider threats or unauthorized access. This helps organizations detect and prevent data breaches and insiders risk. Importance of AI in machine learning. So malware detection, prevention, phishing, and email scam detection. Vulnerability management and patch prioritization. Malware detection prevention. AI powered malware detection system can efficiently identify malicious code by analyzing file attributes and behaviors. Machine learning algorithm can learn from past malware examples to recognize new variants and prevent their spread. Phishing and email scan detection. AI algorithm can analyze email contents, sender's behavior, and metadata to identify phishing and email scam attempts. This helps organizations protect their user from falling victims to these increasingly sophisticated attacks. Vulnerability management and patch prioritization. AI can help identify and prioritize vulnerabilities based on their likelihood and exploitation and impact on the organization's security postures. Machine learning algorithm can analyze historical data and threat intelligence feeds to determine which vulnerabilities require immediate attention. How ML is applied in cybersecurity. Machine learning is applied in cybersecurity in three ways. First is anomaly detection, second is threat intelligence, and the lastly is automated security response. So anomaly detection uses machine learning algorithm to identify unusual pattern and network traffic, user behavior or system logs highlighting potential threats. Number two is threat intelligence. Machine learning leverages to analyze threats data like malware signature, phishing campaigns, attack patterns for prediction uh, and predicting future attacks and vulnerabilities. Finally, automated security response. Machine learning uses this to automate to secure tasks such as blocking malicious traffic, quarantine infected devices, and patching vulnerabilities, leading to a faster and more efficient responses. Artificial intelligence, role and cybersecurity. One is enhanced threat detection with AI, automate real-time threat analysis, analyze vast data sets for potential threats. AI improves accuracy of intrusion detection and malware detection, reduce the impact of security breaches. Threat detection, AI uses algorithm that can analyze massive amount of data to identify pattern and anomalies that might indicate a cyber attack. This allows for a faster and more accurate detection threats, including those previously unknown. Automated response AI-powered system can automatically respond to detect threats such as blocking malicious traffic, isolating infected system, or patching vulnerabilities. This reduces the time to take response to attack and minimize the potential damage of security breaches. Predictive analysis. AI can analyze historical data to predict future threats that can strengthening the defenses and minimize the impact of future incident. Behavioral analysis of AI can monitor user behavior to identify anomalies that might indicate malicious activity, such as unusual login attempt or data access pattern. This help predict, predict or detect insider threats and compromise user accounts. Malware detection, AI algorithm can analyze the file characteristic and code behavior to identify known and unknown malware, including zero-day attack threats. This improves detection rates and helps protect against evolving malware attacks. The role of the machine learning in the cybersecurity. So machine learning techniques predicts and prevent attacks. Machine learning also identifies pattern and indicative of malware. So classify and prioritize security alerts. Machine learning is revolutionizing cybersecurity attacks, offering powerful tools for proactive threats detection, response, and security enhancement. However, it is crucial to address the challenges and ethical considerations associated with the implementation of machine learning in AI cybersecurity. The future of AI and machine learning. in cybersecurity. AI and machine learning are changing in the field of cybersecurity, leading to a new and exciting developments. The future may bring systems that can automatically learn and improve after each attack, creating self-healing network that can find and fix problems without needing human help. These technologies will help security experts to spot threats early, allowing systems to act before issues occur instead of just reacting to them. However, using AI and ML in cybersecurity also brings new challenges such as ethical concern and the risk of AI being used for harmful purposes. AI in machine learning continues to push boundaries in cyber attacks. The future holds promises that autonomous cyber security system can evolve and learn, becoming more resilient, resilient in each attack. AI and ML will form the backbone of self-healing network that is capable of identifying, defending against, and repairing damage from cybersecurity without human intervention. However, AI and ML will play a pivotal role in threat hunting, aiding cybersecurity professionals in proactive threats identification rather than reacting to breaches. Security system will anticipate and neutralize threats, shaping a proactive cybersecurity environment. While AI and ML cybersecurity offer potential for future and greater threat protection and resilience, this new dawn of certain and expose fresh challenges. In particular, AI ethical consideration concern over automated system and the threat of AI-powered malware and the increasingly complex cyber attacks demand careful attention. In the end, balancing the power of technology within the wisdom of human oversight will be the key. The future of cybersecurity isn't just about building stronger defenses, it's about creating smarter ones. So AI and machine learning cybersecurity, these are the example of cyber attacks that uses by the hackers. They use ransomware and DDoS attack and how hackers crack password. So let's watch this. After this will be the end of my report. So thank you.
All right, guys. So let's go through an actual exercise here. So this is one of my VMware vSphere consoles. So we're going to log into this file server here. Now I'm on a file server, but this can happen to anybody's machine. Alan from accounting can have the same action that this is going to have. This is just on a file server. So let's say Alan in accounting gets an email from Candice. He asked for something, and someone hacked her email and sent him this. So it looks like it's actually from her. And he goes and downloads it and double clicks on it and saying, oh, I'm going to open this. Boom. What happened? All of these files, and you're watching it in real time right now, are changing to WannaCry, meaning that all of these files are basically useless. I can't open any of these. And it says, hey, if you want to have your data back, you can pay me in Bitcoin. So what happens then? Now in this demo, this is only for all intents and purposes, this is only affecting my documents. But this can spread through a network within minutes. And by a network, I mean every single one of these servers are connected. It'll spread like ants on sugar.
So like that, ransomware attacks when a malicious software known as ransomware infiltrates a computer system or a network that encrypts a victim's files, making them inaccessible. The attackers demand a ransom payment, typically in cryptocurrency or Bitcoin, in exchange for the decryption key to unlock the files. So ransomware can spread through various methods, including phishing email with malicious attachment and exploiting software vulnerabilities, or gaining access through compromised remote desktop. The impact of ransomware attack can lead to financial loss. So the attackers can be really bad to business and people because they can lose important information and have to pay money to get it back. And I will show you next the how the DDoS attack is made. So let's watch this.
So you've seen these letters and are probably wondering, what is a DDoS attack and what happens when it's launched? Well, let's cut right to the chase. Here's DDoS explained in 2 minutes. DDoS stands for Distributed Denial of Service, and it's all in the name. The goal of such an attack is to deny service by creating so much traffic to a server that it stops being accessible to normal users. The easiest way to do that is to use bots, a slave army of devices infected with malware. Users can download such malware by clicking on simple phishing links. The malware gets onto a device and turns it into a zombie. The user is no longer in full control of it. The master of the botnet is. When the time comes, the master sends a request, and all of these devices join the attack. They start sending thousands of requests for connections to the target. Most servers have very limited capacity, so such an attack can significantly slow down or completely crash them. Then the websites, databases, or other systems on the server go down, and probably won't be restored until the attack stops. Does this cause any long-term damage? No, not really. But even several minutes without an important service, such as a medical or financial system, can be inconvenient or even dangerous. By the way, your computer, phone, or even smart fridge can be infected with botnet malware right now. To free it and help prevent DDoS attacks, take good care of your cybersecurity. Beware of phishing and use a good antivirus. I hope this video has been informative.
So that is the example of DDoS attack. So DDoS attack is like a bunch of people trying to get into the restaurant at the same time, but they're not the real customers. They're just trying to make the restaurant so crowded that the real customers cannot get in. These fake customers are controlled by the bad guys who wants to shut down the website. The website gets overwhelmed and the fake traffic can't handle it. So the website crashes and the real people or the real customer cannot use it. It's like the restaurant to close the door because it's too crowded. Another example is it's like many people that trying to access the web page. Instead of people, it's like a fake internet traffic trying to access the website at once. So many people trying to access the web page at the same time. This fake traffic controlled by someone who wants to shut down the web page. The web page or the site gets overwhelmed by all the traffic and the website cannot handle it. So it crashes and the real people cannot see it. It's like a street becoming completely black so nobody can get into the website. So that's how the DDoS attack that's the example of the DDoS attack. So next is the how hackers crack your passwords. So let's watch this. This is the last.
Passwords are not saved as plain texts. Any website of this age on the internet uses a hashing algorithm to encrypt and manage passwords. There are many types of hashing algorithms like the SHA-1, MD5, etc. As an example for this video, let's consider Facebook. In order to log into your Facebook account, you enter your email and password and click on login. The first time you create a Facebook account, you are asked to fill in a form like this, which contains your name, your email address, and it asks you to choose a password, your birth date, and your gender. Once you click on sign up, this data is sent to the Facebook's backend database. In the Facebook's database, your name, your gender, your age, and your email or phone is saved as it is. But what about the password? As I told you, a password will never be saved as a plain text in a website's database. So this password is given as input to a hashing algorithm, and the output given by this hashing algorithm is the encrypted form of the password, which appears to be random but is not. This hashed password is saved in the Facebook's database but not the plain text, which means the password which you entered will never be saved on Facebook's database as a plain text. Instead, only its encrypted, or in other words, the hashed password is saved in the Facebook's database. Now suppose Facebook had a data breach and hackers managed to gain access to Facebook's user info, which included their name, age, gender, email, and password. Though hackers have this information, they will not be able to log into any specific user account because the password is encrypted. If the hacker tries to log into any specific user account with the hashed password, he will not be provided access. He only needs to enter the password, which is in the plain text form. So what do the hacker do now? Intuitively, the only possible way is to reverse the hash into its plain text form. But this is highly impossible because a hash is a one-way function, and the plain text form of a hash cannot be obtained from the hash itself. That is how hashing algorithms are designed. So what now? This is when the strength of the password comes into the play. If you are using a common password like test123456, which I used earlier to sign up for Facebook, then the hacker will easily able to know the plain text form of your password from the hash string. There is something known as rainbow tables. These rainbow tables contain the password hashes of numerous commonly used passwords along with their plain text forms. So the hacker will be able to do a simple search with the password hash that he has, and if the password hash exists in the rainbow table, that means that the password is successfully cracked and we now have the password in a plain text form. Remember that rainbow tables contain the password hashes of only the passwords which are commonly used. As a reference, you can try it yourself at crackstation.net. But what if the password is not a commonly used password? In that case, rainbow tables are of no use. So there comes dictionary attack and brute force attack. Both are quite similar. In dictionary attack, you have a word list. A word list is nothing but a huge text file with loads of passwords. In this attack, the hacker writes a code which compares the password hash to be cracked with the password hash of each and every password that exists in the word list file. If any hashes match, then it means that the cracking is successful and we now have the plain text of the hashed password. Now this attack can be target specific as well, which means you can actually create your own word list targeting a specific individual, provided that you know some basic details about him and assuming that he used his basic details to frame his password. This attack can be a success or a failure based on the quality of the word list that you are using. In a brute force attack, each and every combination of letters, symbols, and numbers are converted into their hash forms and are then compared with the password hash which is to be cracked. In other words, you're literally taking every possible password that can exist, convert it into its hash, and check if the hashes match. So yes, it literally takes forever to crack a strong password using this method. However, if the computer's processing speed is fast enough, then yep, simple passwords can be cracked easily by this method. A new technique called salting is introduced by security analysts to give hackers a hard time in cracking passwords. In this technique, a specific combination of characters are inserted at specific positions of the plain text password before hashing. Every company has its own salting algorithm and they don't make their salting algorithm public. For example, let's say Facebook's salting algorithm inserts a string f_2p at the beginning, after the third character, and at the end of the plain text password. After salting the password, the salted password is then hashed by a hashing algorithm. So, when a salt is used, rainbow tables are of no use, even if the password to be cracked is a weak and commonly used password, because the hash of the password without salting do not match the hash of the password which is salted. Also, Brute force attack and dictionary attack are not effective to crack salted passwords unless the hacker already knows the salting algorithm employed by a company.
So that's how hackers crack password. So if you use weak passwords, this will be a problem because they're easy to guess, and if you use common words or names or a simple number sequence, this account or the password vulnerabilities uh, can easily be cracked. So including the burst, brute force attack, so trying it's like trying many passwords at the same time, and the dictionary attack, like trying common words. So I suggest using um, alphanumeric password with a character and uh, special character mixed with numbers and symbol are for crucial for creating a secure password in the internet. So that's all for my report. Thank you for listening.